जय हिंद, भारत माता की जय। नेवर से डाई शो का एक नया एपिसोड के साथ मैं डीपी सिंह आपके सामने फिर से हाजिर हूं। टुडेज पर्सनालिटी is not only famous for his bravado, he's a Shaurya Chakra awardee, but now he's becoming famous in his civilian avatar for his compassion when he's reaching out to all those widows and families who somehow got left out. What is he doing and how did he won Shaurya Chakra? We will discuss all that. Before that, let's welcome Colonel Shankar Shaurya Chakra on the show. Welcome to the show, sir. Jai Hind.
जय हिंद मेजर डीपी। बहुत बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि मैं आज आपके साथ ये गुफ्तगू कर सकता हूं।
I'm honored, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, you are from a totally non-fauji background. How did you get motivated to join forces?
I was born in Calcutta, but I grew up in Chennai. और मैं जब I was in about fourth or fifth, then I was part of the Boy Scouts movement, and that was my exposure to uniform and outdoor life and camp life, and that was really exciting for me. And of course, these were pre-internet days, and our only exposure to the armed forces was Republic Day parades. And I used to be, filled with pride listening to the gallant actions of a lot of soldiers, which they used to announce during Republic Day parade. And also, there used to be a serial called Paramveer Chakra, which inspired me.
You joined Dogra Scouts. Now, Dogras are from hill, and you are from down south. Total different language, total different culture. How did you adapted yourself?
I was from actually zero sea level from Chennai, who had not been in the mountains. Food habits were different, languages completely different. But that's the greatness of the armed forces, you know. Once you become an officer, once you get commissioned in as an officer and join a particular regiment, आपको जो पलटन में जो सिखाते हैं, जो कैमराडरी होता है, जवानों के साथ मिलजुल के रहना, and that's how I got adapted to their lifestyle, got to know about their culture, and I still till today cherish the wonderful food of the Dogra region, palda, or all those lovely madra, which was a wonderful food they used to have. And I should make a special mention. In the army, it's not always that the seniors who get you bedded into the Paltan. I was put under a senior JCO who was much junior to me in rank. He was a JCO, but he was my first tutor. And I used to, listen to whatever he used to say so that I could get accustomed and acclimatized to the kind of lifestyle that my troops were. And what your troops are is what you become as an officer.
Now, coming to that operation, sir, which got you Shaurya Chakra, the third highest peacetime gallantry award. Can you throw a little light about what happened during that operation?
I was commissioned in 1997, and in 1998 we were deployed in Jammu and Kashmir in a counter-infiltration role. So one of the information that we got that were some militants or terrorists had crossed over to the Indian territory. And I had just about 1 year of service, and we took out multiple ambushes. And in one of the ambushes, we went out on a particular day. And on the third day, we encountered these terrorists. And this was at about 13,000 feet in Jammu and Kashmir. We saw them at about early morning at about 4:45. But we started moving and pursuing them only once the daylight broke out. And they saw us first and they fired at us. And I was a little anxious. And within about 10 or 15 seconds, I had already poofed off about 1.5 magazines, which is about nearly 30 rounds. We were just about 11 of us, and we were all split up in different groups. And along with me was just a young sepoy who was a radio operator. And he was the one who said, "Saab, आप रोक लीजिए, ऐसे फायर करेंगे तो bullets खत्म हो जाएंगे आपके."
खाली हो जाएगा.
And the operation lasted for more than 45 minutes. And we killed about 6 militants in our group, out of which 2 to 3 were right in front of us, the two of us. The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. And I think we were successful because we didn't have a single casualty in that operation, which lasted for about 3 days. And we killed about 11 militants, but not a single scratch in any of my boys. So यही था operation जिसके लिए मुझे शौर्य चक्र मिला था. And it was a very proud moment for me.
Sir, let's move ahead. From militants area, you moved to Bhutan. So, do you think that posting to Bhutan actually gave you some purpose in life?
I got an opportunity pretty young in service to serve in Bhutan as part of the Indian military training team to train the Bhutanese army. And it was an eye opener for me. And one of the things that they believe in is called gross national happiness. ये मेरे एक human nature में एक बदलाव लेके आया था. So I then realized that how much compassion is important, how much is happiness more important than money and post and ranks and things like that. So that definitely made a huge change.
तो बात करते हैं सर, अभी आप क्या कर रहे हो? What is that new thing which is motivated by the compassion which you learned from Bhutan? What does that work? Please throw little light on that area.
See, okay, after Bhutan, I served in a couple of places. Then I commanded a unit in the eastern sector, and that's where I noticed, a lot of Jawans and officers were getting, they were dying because of non-operational circumstances. तो ये मेरा एक task था as a commanding officer of the unit कि ऐसे कितने ऐसे casualties हो रहे हैं अपने इलाके में और किस कारण हो रहे हैं, क्यों हो रहे हैं, and all things like that. तो और मैं एक एयरपोर्ट के पास भी था तो मैं आई यूज्ड टू हेल्प इन ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऑफ द डेड बॉडी एंड receive the next of kin and things like that. So that's when I realized that there's a lot of such Indian Army personnel who die because of non-operational reasons. Operational reasons like terrorist action हो गया, war हो गया, border skirmishes हो गए. इसके अलावा भी जैसे एक्सीडेंट हो गया, मेडिकल कंडीशंस हो गए, सुसाइड हो गया, फ्रैक्ट्रिसाइड हो गया. तो जब मैंने इसमें थोड़ा रिसर्च करना शुरू किया, आई स्टार्टेड डूइंग लिटिल स्टडी टू फाइंड आउट हाउ मेनी सच पीपल डाई एवरी ईयर, व्हाट हैपेंस टू देयर फैमिलीज, what is their status of their children, their parents, and things like that. I was really surprised and shocked that we lose about 1,200 to 1,500 every year. And these are called physical casualties, whereas we lose about 80 to 90 per year on battle casualties. And that's when I realized that I need to dedicate myself to the welfare of these families. The Indian Army as an organization has got a lot of efforts they put in to make sure that the families are looked after, but there is definitely a gap. So I said, okay, let me take a premature retirement. I retired after 20 years of service and embarked on a purely philanthropic one-man project called Project Sambandh, where I wanted to connect with the next of kin, यानी कि families, spouse हो या parents हो या बच्चे हो, उनके physical casualties के next of kin के साथ एक संबंध बनाना. इसीलिए मेरा project का नाम है संबंध. I've been doing this for the last 3 years. I travel across India, meeting these widows and children and parents and finding out what are their requirements, what are they doing now. Many a times is lack of awareness. The army has got a lot of schemes for them. I try and explain the schemes for them. And there's a language barrier and a lot of bureaucracy. I can do what I can do, so I try and at least make a connect with them, and that's why the project is called Project Sambandh.
What is the difference between a war casualty or a battle casualty and a physical casualty?
Battle casualty उनको बोलते हैं जैसे जो war या terrorist action या border skirmishes, operational area में जिनका death हो जाता है. Physical casualty जो बोलते हैं जो सर्विस के दौरान जिनको बिन लड़ाई कारण, जो 4 कारण हैं उनके. फर्स्ट इज मेडिकल कंडीशन, कोई बीमार पड़ गया, कैंसर हो गया, एड्स हो गया, निमोनिया हो गया, उसके कारण जो डेथ हो जाता है. दूसरा एक्सीडेंट, रोड एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है, कोई कुआं में गिर जाता है या कोई इलेक्ट्रिक्यूशन हो जाता है. थर्ड है खुदकुशी, सुसाइड. और चौथा है फ्रैक्ट्रिसाइड, व्हेन वन सोल्जर kills another soldier either by firing or some other means. These are called physical casualties. And इनके जो families हैं, दोनों के families का issues nearly same है. Basically the 3 challenges that they have are financial, social and emotional challenges. Both the next of kin of battle casualties and physical casualties. But whereas the next of kin of the battle casualty, financially they are a little better off in the sense that they get 100% pension, which is the same salary which the soldier would have got. Their children's education is completely taken care by the government of India. And also they have a little bit of employment reservation and they have a preference in employment for the widow or the next of kin. Whereas in a physical casualties next of kin, the biggest challenge is financial. The first challenge is financial, because suddenly from the salary, it becomes either 30% to 60%. That's what they get as pension. And children's education is completely affected. That's not taken care by the government. And they have some grants, but it's not completely taken care. And there is also challenges of accommodation, where to stay. And then of course you have the emotional and the social challenges. ऐसे मैंने बहुत सारे नेक्स्ट ऑफ किन से मिला हूं मैं. ऐसे एक उदाहरण से मैं बता सकता हूं कि एक बार सुंदर बनी गया था मैं, जम्मू कश्मीर में. वहां एक नेक्स्ट ऑफ किन से मिला था मैं, who had lost her husband just 2 years into marriage. She's got a girl child, and the man died because of some medical condition. This was in 2018, and she was in ninth grade at that time. And I spoke to this girl and I said, what are you doing and which class are you? And in flawless English, she said, uncle, I'm in ninth standard and I want to be a cardiologist. मैं तो हैरान हो गया कि cardiologist, wonderful, such a small place, Sundarbani, no father, single mother. And they were not aware of the government schemes and all that. I helped them fill up the forms and all, but that's just a minor part. But then I saw the potential in this girl. I spoke to my friends and families. People said yes, they will support. And sure enough, in 2019, she, in the 10th standard exam, she got 480 out of 500. Can you imagine? Being in a place like Sundarbani with no coaching, nothing. And I knew she's got the potential. And we said that, okay, she's not going to be in Sundarbani. She has to move to Jammu because the competition is tough. So now she is in Jammu and studying for her, medicine entrance exam, as well as 11th and 12th. And her mother has also moved to Jammu. And my friends and families are supporting, financially, as well as some mentorship. A couple of my friends are doctors. They're telling her how to prepare. And this is what keeps me going and makes me do the never say die spirit, is because of these next of kin who, in spite of all these challenges, are doing so well. ये जो खुशी मिलती है is it cannot be measured in terms of money or awards and things like that.
Reaching out and meeting the families is the biggest gap. लेकिन और कौन से ऐसे गैप्स हैं और उन गैप्स को हम कैसे प्लग कर सकते हैं?
Gaps are mainly social issues. Army as an organization काफी ख्याल रखता है अपने next of kin and families को. But क्या हो जाता है जब जवान का डेथ हो जाता है, that is the time when they look after, first 6 months, 8 months, जब तक पेंशन शुरू होता है. उसके बाद slowly and slowly, because of some social reasons, because generally वो widow in-laws के पास जाती है जो गांव में रहते हैं, और पढ़ाई भी उनको फिर कंटोनमेंट स्कूल से कहीं विलेज स्कूल में जाना पड़ता है बच्चों को. जब बच्चे बड़े हो जाते हैं, फॉर एजुकेशन रीजंस दे हैव टू गो आउट टू बेटर टाउन और अ सिटी. And then slowly the gap increases between the organization, which is the army, and the next of kin. And the next of kin also thinks that the army cannot help them. But actually, the army can help them in a lot of ways. The units can help them. And it's not all about, scholarships or money and things that. Even small things of keeping in touch, some career counseling can be done. People can get back into the system by their children getting in as recruited into the army. तो ये सोशल गैप्स है, वो जो जवान के साथ जो स्टिग्मा है उसको निकालना चाहिए. जवान अगर खुदकुशी कर लिया है तो वो स्टिग्मा कंटिन्यू करता है. यही गैप्स है, सोशल गैप्स है. Not all gaps are financial.
It is not necessary that a person who has taken a step of suicide is because of some personal internal turmoil, but that internal turmoil can be because of his exposure to militancy affected area, because of his exposures of so many killings which he has seen all around, or there are n number of reasons, because every human being has his own psyche to control. So that PTSD thing is yet not being accepted and embraced in our country in the manner in which it should be. Till that time it happens, I'm glad that people like you are trying to pitch in and filling those emotional gaps. So how do we fill that emotional arena at unit level, at society level, at country level? What is your suggestion on that?
You just hit the nail on the head. First we have to acknowledge there is a problem. Number two, हर चीज को एक गहराई से पढ़ना चाहिए. There should be a complete study of why people commit suicide and what are the other reasons. डिप्रेशन एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट। मैं एक चीज हमेशा खुद फॉलो करता हूँ, वो है कंट्रोल द कंट्रोलेबल्स। हम क्या कर सकते हैं? हम क्या कर सकते हैं? हम संबंध बना सकते हैं, लोगों से बातचीत कर सकते हैं। बातचीत से ही काफी चीज आप सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। आप रीच आउट कीजिए। हो सकता है 10 साल हो गया है जवान को, जवान का डेथ, फिजिकल कैजुअलिटी हो गया है, मगर आप रीच आउट कीजिए। पहले आपको हो सकता है आप गाली सुनेंगे नेक्स्ट ऑफ किन से, मैंने बहुत सारे सुने, बट इट इज अ नेचुरल रिएक्शन, यू नो। वो सोचते हैं अभी इतने साल कहाँ थे आप लोग, मगर उस स्टेज को आप पार कर देंगे। वो अभी सोचेंगे हाँ, मेरा एक यहाँ एक सहायक है जो मदद करेगा, मेरा एक साथी है जो मदद करेगा, मेरा एक सहेली है जो मदद करेगी, यू नो। तो आप प्लीज रीच आउट कीजिए।
The work which you are doing is actually not that easy. Don't you feel frustrated at time?
I follow a couple of mantras myself, and one of the key mantra is control the controllables. This is being taught to me my friend, who's also an honorary lieutenant colonel in the army, and many people would know him as a cricket captain, former cricket captain of India, MS Dhoni. And he is something that I've learned from him, that is control the controllables. You do what you can. You know, you cannot control कि armed forces authorities क्या करेंगे या बाकी लोग क्या react करेंगे। आप कैसे उस प्रोसेस को अप्रोच कर सकते हैं। और दूसरा जो चीज मैंने उन्हीं से सीखा है, वो है प्रोसेस। प्रोसेस में आप ध्यान दीजिए। कीप, यू नो, इफ योर प्रोसेसेस आर राइट, the results more or less will come out correctly.
You are amazing, sir, and I know that you are one man army. Don't you find difficult running all the things alone?
See, why I say it's a one man this thing is because I don't have any organization, I don't have an NGO and things like that. But it will be wrong on my part to say that I don't have support. I have the support of the whole Indian army. I've got the support
Right.
of the organization, you know. And इसके अलावा पब्लिक भी, you would be surprised, बहुत सारे लोग हैं, लॉयर्स हैं जिन्होंने काफी मदद किया है, कोई लिटिगेशन में, कोई काउंसलर्स हैं, बच्चों को यू नो बताया है कि 10th के बाद क्या करना है, 12th के बाद क्या करना है, कोई न्यूट्रिशन है, कोई डॉक्टर्स हैं जो अगर ECHS वगैरह काफी दूर पड़ जाता है तो डॉक्टर बोलते कोई नहीं, हमारे पास भेज दीजिए, हम चेकअप कर लेंगे, यू नो। तो सपोर्ट बहुत है। बताने के लिए वन मैन आर्मी है, बट हम 1.5 बिलियन, वो जितना भी इंडियन का पॉपुलेशन है वो मेरे पीछे है, एंड वही मेरा स्ट्रेंथ है।
I know that your course mates call you Forrest Gump. What is that story and how do you feel, you know, जब ये नाम सुनते हो आप अपने बारे में?
फॉरेस्ट गंप ही फौजी था, तो मे बी दैट इज द, यू नो, और आई थिंक फॉरेस्ट गंप थोड़ा ढीला भी था, तो मैं भी ढीला ही हूँ। फॉरेस्ट गंप का ये है कि वो जो भी बगल में बैठा था उनको अपना कहानी सुनाता था। तो इसलिए मैं भी मुझे फॉरेस्ट गंप बुलाते हैं, क्योंकि मैं भी कोई भी चीज है उसका कहानी बता के उसको बताता हूँ मैं लोगों को कि ये है। तो मे बी फॉर मेनी रीजंस मुझे फॉरेस्ट गंप बुला रहे हैं, बट मैं ये पॉजिटिव रीजन ले लूंगा कि क्योंकि मैं आता हूँ और लोगों को बताता हूँ, और मैं दौड़ नहीं सकता हूँ जैसे फॉरेस्ट गंप दौड़ता था, थोड़ा बहुत टीटी खेल लेता हूँ, और मगर वो भी फौजी था, मैं भी फौजी हूँ, तो ये कनेक्ट है।
Wonderful, sir. Amazing. I want to know, who is Shankar as a person?
I grew up in a middle class family, no armed forces and things like that. My requirements are very less, and you know, so I have. I mean, I've been having a lot of hobbies right from my you know, childhood. I've had great set of parents who have encouraged me. The whole family has encouraged me. Whatever decisions I've taken, teachers have been amazing. But parents and teachers are some people that you cannot control, you know. But friends are some people that you can control. तो हमने अच्छा फ्रेंड्स चूज किया है, उसके कारण अभी भी फ्रेंडशिप है। एंड एज अ पर्सन आई बीन इंडल्जिंग इन लॉट ऑफ हॉबीज, आई बीन डूइंग क्विजिंग, थोड़ा बहुत मैजिक कर लेता हूं मैं, ऑटोग्राफ मेरा काफी यू नो खास हॉबी है, मैं ऑटोग्राफ कलेक्ट करता हूँ सेलिब्रिटीज। पहले जमाने में चिट्ठी लिखता था, फिर फौज आने के बाद चिट्ठी नहीं लिख पाते थे, फिर लोगों से मिलता था, उनका ऑटोग्राफ ले लेता था। आई लीड यू नो अ प्रीटी नॉर्मल एंड डिसेंट लाइफ, एंड आई एम हैप्पी विद इट, एंड आई लिव डे बाय डे and minute by minute and for the moment in the present.
So to end, I want that you should say something to the youngsters of our country also.
You can start by doing a good turn every day with your family, with your friends, and I can tell you that the kind of satisfaction that you will have, the experiences that you will have, can never ever be taught in conventional education by going to a school or college. The more time you'll spend with your own you know, elders, with people like this who have been disadvantaged, whether it's armed forces people's families, armed forces people themselves, or somebody in the civil society also. There are people who are being disadvantaged because of various reasons. It could be because of some accidents, it could be because of some social reasons. So please spend time with them. Nothing you need to do financially, but if you can spend time, it will make you a better human being, number one, and the experience that you will gain will definitely help you in your professional career also.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for coming on the show and enlightening us with the good work which you are doing and a great message which you have left for the youngsters. We wish you all the best, and I am sure Project Sambandh के जो संबंध हैं वो ना सिर्फ स्ट्रांग और घनिष्ठ होंगे बट सक्सेसफुल भी होंगे आने वाले टाइम में. जय हिंद.
Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
So listeners, ये थे कर्नल वेम्बू शंकर शौर्य चक्रा. एक इंसान अगर चाहे तो कुछ भी कर सकता है. So as somebody has mentioned that don't think कि देश आपके लिए क्या कर रहा है, but think that what you can do for the country. And for that, you need to just take one step at a time and have that attitude of never say die. Till we meet next time, take care of yourself. God bless you. Jai Hind, Bharat Mata ki Jai.